Hey, my vibrations. It's V to the I to the B. Ooh, wild hair to the mother of 5E. And I'm back with part 3 of chapter 1, finishing it out today. The Power of Intention, Learning to Co-Create Your World Your Way by Dr. Wayne Dyer. So, subtitle, At Intention, Spirit Will Work for You. With your free will consciously deciding to reconnect to the power of intention, you're altering its direction. You'll begin to feel pleasant recognition and reverence for the unity of spirit and yourself as an individual concentration of it. I silently repeat the word intent or intention to help me get my ego and my self-absorption out of the picture. I think often of this quote from Casanetta's Power of Silence. Having lost hope of ever returning to the source of everything, the average man seeks solace in his selfishness. For me, personally, I attempt to return to the source of everything on a daily basis, and I refuse to be the average man that Casanetta describes. Many years ago, I decided to give up drinking alcohol. I wanted to experience continuous sobriety to improve my ability to do the work that I felt was burning inside of me. I felt called upon to teach self-reliance through my writing and speaking. Several teachers had told me that complete sobriety was a prerequisite for the work I was called to do. In the early stages of this dramatic life change, a power seemed to help me when I was intent. In the early stages of this dramatic life change, a power seemed to help me when I was tempted to return to my old habits of having a few beers each evening. On one occasion, in my state of wavering, I actually went out to purchase a 6-pack but forgot to bring money with me. I never forgot to take cash with me. In the few minutes it took me to return home and retrieve the cash, I reevaluated the free will that would allow me to buy beer and choose to stay with my intention. I found, as the first weeks passed, that these kinds of events started occurring with regularity. I'd be guided by circumstances that led me away from situations where drinking was a temptation. A telephone call might distract me from a tempting situation. A family mini crisis would erupt and deter me from a potential slip. Today, a couple of decades later, it's clear to me that a firm handle on that trolley strap I described earlier allows me to be whisked along my path to destinations invoked eons ago by intention. And I also see that my free will is a paradoxical partner of the power of intention. My awareness of intention as a power for me to reconnect to, rather than something my ego must accomplish, has made a huge difference in my life's work. The simple awareness that my writing and speaking are manifested from the field of intention has been of immeasurable benefit to me. I'm awed by the creative energy when I get myself importance and ego identification out of the way. Before taking the microphone, I send ego to the lobby or tell it to have a seat in the audience. I repeat the word intent to myself and feel myself floating up to this energy field of intention. I surrender and allow, and I find myself completely at ease, remembering tiny details in the midst of my speech, never losing my way, and experiencing the unique connection that's occurring with the audience. Fatigue dissolves, hunger disappears, and even the need to pee vanishes. Everything that's necessary for delivering the message seems almost effortlessly available. Combining free will with intention. In mathematics, two angles that are said to coincide fit together perfectly. The word coincide does not describe luck or mistakes. It describes that which fits together perfectly. By combining free will with intention, you harmonize with the universal mind. Rather than operating in your own mind outside of this force called intention, your goal may very well be, as you read this book, to work at being in harmony at all times with intention. When life appears to be working against you, when your luck is down, when the supposedly wrong people show up, or you slip up and return to old self-defeating habits, recognize the signs that you're out of harmony with intention. You can and will reconnect in a way that will bring you into alignment with your own purpose. For example, when I write, I open myself to the possibilities of universal spirit and my own individual thoughts collaborating with fate to produce a helpful, insightful book. But as I reconsidered my account of leaving alcohol behind me, I wanted another example to put to this chapter of how intention collaborates with life circumstances to produce what we need. Recently, my 19-year-old daughter Summer told me that she'd quit her job quit her temporary job as a restaurant hostess and wasn't sure what she wanted to do before resuming her college studies. I asked her what made her feel most purposeful and happy, and she said it was teaching horseback riding to young children, but she refused to return to the old barn where she'd worked a year before because she felt unappreciated, overworked, and underpaid. I was in Maui writing this chapter on a new perspective on intention when we had this telephone conversation. I launched into my intention as a force in universe spiel and told my daughter that she needed to realign her thoughts and so on. Open up to receiving the assistance you desire, I told her. Trust in intention. It exists for you. Stay alert and be willing to accept any guidance that comes your way. Stay in vibrational harmony with the all-pervading source. The next day, at the very moment I was searching for the additional example of intention to put into this chapter, the telephone rang, and it was Summer, bubbling with enthusiasm. You're not going to believe this, Dad. On second thought, I'm sure you'll believe it. Remember yesterday how you told me to open to intention? I was skeptical, even thinking, that's my weird dad, but I decided to try it. Then I saw a sign on a telephone pole that said horseback riding lessons, and there was a telephone number. I wrote the number down and just called it. The woman who answered told me that she needed to hire someone she could trust to do trails rides with young kids. She pays exactly double what I was making at the restaurant. I'm going out to see her tomorrow. Isn't that cool? Cool. Hell yes, it's cool. Here I am writing a book looking for a good example, and it arrives in the form of help I was attempting to offer the day before to my daughter. 2 for the price of 1. Merging your individual thoughts with the universal mind. Our individual thoughts create a prototype in the universal mind of intention. You and your power of intention are not separate. So when you form a thought within you that's commensurate with spirit, you form a spiritual prototype that connects you to intention and sets into motion the manifestation of your desires. Whatever you wish to accomplish is an existing fact, already present in spirit. Eliminate from your mind thoughts of conditions, limitations, or the possibility of it not manifesting. If left undisturbed in your mind and in the mind of intention, simultaneously it will germinate into reality in the physical world. In simpler words, all things whatsoever ye pray and ask for, believe that ye have received them, and ye shall receive them. Mark verse 11, chapter 11, verse 24. In this scriptural quotation, you are told to believe that your desire has already been fulfilled, and then it will be accomplished. Know that your thought or prayer is already here. Remove all doubt so that you can create a harmonious thought with universal mind or intention. When you know this beyond doubt, it will be realized in the future. This is the power of intention at work. I'll close this section with words from Aldous Huxley, one of my favorite authors. The spiritual journey does not consist in arriving at a new destination where a person gains what he did not have or becomes what he is not. It consists in the dissipation of one's own ignorance concerning oneself and life, and the gradual growth that understanding which begins the spiritual awakening. The finding of God is coming to oneself. In this chapter, I've asked you to stop doubting the existence of a universal omnipresent force I've called intention, and told you that you can link it to and be carried to your destination on the energy of intention. Here are my suggestions for putting this to work in your life. 5 suggestions for implementing the ideas in this chapter. Number 1, whenever you feel out of sorts, lost, or even in a sour mood, visualize the trolley strap hanging down from the field of intention, 3 or 4 feet above your head. Imagine floating up and allowing the trolley to carry you to your built-in intention. This is a tool for implementing surrender in your life. Number 2, say the word intent or intention repeatedly when you're in a state of anxiety or when everything around you seems to have conspired to keep you from your mission. This is a reminder to be peaceful and calm. Intention is spirit, and intention is silently blissful. Number 3, tell yourself that you have a life mission and a silent partner who is accessible at any moment you choose. When ego defines you by what you have or do or compares you to others, use your power of free will to terminate those thoughts. Say to yourself, I'm here on purpose. I can accomplish anything I desire, and I do it by being in harmony with the all-pervading creative force in the universe. This will become an automatic way of responding to life. Synchronistic results will begin to happen. Number 4, act as if anything you desire is already here. Believe that all that you seek, you've already received, that it exists in spirit, and know you shall have your desires fulfilled. One of my 10 secrets for success and inner peace is to treat yourself as if you already are what you like to become. Number 5, copy this ancient Hasidic saying and carry it with you for a year. It's a reminder of the power of intention and how it can work for you every day in every way. When you walk across the fields with your mind pure and holy, then from all the stones and all growing things and all animals, the sparks of their soul come out and cling to you, and then they are purified and become a holy fire in you. In the next chapter, I describe how this field of intention might look were you able to see it, and what the faces of intention look like. I'll close this chapter with another quotation from Carlos Castaneda's teacher, Don Was Mates. The spirit reveals itself to everyone with the same intensity and consistency. By only warriors are consistently attuned to such revelation. But only warriors are consistently attuned to such revelations. One more time. The spirit reveals itself to everyone with the same intensity and consistency, but only warriors are consistently attuned to such revelations. Readers and warriors alike proceed in the spirit of free will to access the power of intention. So, that's chapter 1, finished. I will put... I will do the 5 suggestions of implementing the ideas in this chapter, and I will also put this Hasidic that he says that he wrote and put in his pocket. So I'm going to put that down there too. And we are done, chapter 1. And I'm trying to get the feel of how I'm going to do this because I don't want to finish the book too quick. And looks like the chapters are going to be like basically maybe 20-some pages each chapter, maybe 4 or 5 pages each. And no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe 10 to 20 pages each chapter. So I'm just feeling it out how I'm going to do it for you guys. And I'm trying to get a perfect spot for my lighting. And I'm still working on that because I'm still using my iPhone. And I am down in my office that I still have to get organized and set up. But there we go. Chapter 1 is done. I'll see you tomorrow for the start of chapter 2, The Power of Intention by Dr. Wayne Dyer. Have a great night.